Have you ever wondered why so many people find it difficult to live well past 80? Reaching that age feels like crossing an invisible finish line. The world celebrates you with birthday candles and family photos, but behind the smiles there reads a quiet truth. Staying strong beyond 80 is not just about luck. It takes awareness and it takes action. Doctors often describe this stage of life as a fragile balance between resilience and decline. Because after 80, there are 4 hidden forces that quietly work against the body. They don't make loud entrances. They don't announce themselves with flashing alarms. Instead, they creep in, little by little, through fatigue, stiffness, restless nights, or a growing sense of isolation. Most people don't realize what's happening until the damage has already built up. Medical research across the US, UK, Germany, and Canada shows that while life expectancy has increased, health span, the years lived in good health, lags far behind. In other words, people are living longer, but not necessarily better. That gap is often explained by 4 silent enemies: chronic inflammation, muscle loss, disrupted sleep, and loneliness. You see it everywhere. One neighbor at 82 still walks briskly every morning, while another of the same age struggles just to rise from a chair. Some people keep their sharp memory intact, while others notice it fading with each restless night. The difference, surprisingly, isn't always in genetics. It's in awareness, understanding what drains vitality after 80 and what protects it. But here's the encouraging part. These 4 forces may be powerful, but they're not unbeatable. Doctors in gerontology clinics often say, it's not about trying to live forever, it's about protecting your strength, your independence, and your peace of mind. Small adjustments in daily life, food, movement, sleep, and social connection can turn the tide, even in the 9th decade of life. So stay with me. In the next moments, we'll uncover the 4 hidden reasons most people struggle after 80, and more importantly, how you can guard against them. Some of what you hear may surprise you. And the 4th reason, especially, might change the way you think about aging altogether. One of the greatest threats to health after 80 isn't something you can see in the mirror. It doesn't arrive with sudden pain or dramatic symptoms. It moves quietly, almost invisibly. Doctors call it inflammaging, a chronic, low-grade inflammation that builds up inside the body and slowly wears it down. This type of inflammation is not like the swelling after you sprain an ankle. It doesn't announce itself loudly. Instead, it lingers beneath the surface, fueled by decades of stress, poor diet, lack of movement, or even environmental toxins in the air we breathe. Over time, it chips away at the body's defenses, damaging the heart, the brain, the joints, and the immune system. Take George, 82. He lived a healthy life, never smoked, walked every day. Yet he often felt stiff, tired, and mentally foggy. His routine blood work looked normal, but specialists later found high levels of inflammatory markers in his system. No single disease, just the quiet, simmering fire of inflammation. Researchers at Harvard and the Mayo Clinic have confirmed that after 80, the body's ability to regulate inflammation declines sharply. Foods that once seemed harmless, like sugary snacks or processed meats, start to have greater consequences. Even one night of poor sleep can raise inflammation levels in the bloodstream. The result? A higher risk of dementia, heart disease, arthritis, and frailty. But here's the hope. Inflammation isn't destiny. Simple, consistent habits can cool the fire. Studies show that eating whole foods rich in antioxidants, like leafy greens, berries, and fatty fish, can dramatically lower inflammation. Walking 20-30 minutes a day improves circulation and reduces inflammatory stress. Even practicing mindfulness or prayer lowers cortisol, the stress hormone linked to inflammation. I once spoke with an 84-year-old woman in Germany who swore by her evening ritual: a cup of chamomile tea, light stretching, and journaling before bed. Her doctors were amazed at how low her inflammatory markers remained despite her age. She wasn't chasing youth. She was protecting her peace, and her body responded. This is the lesson. Inflammaging may be silent, but you are not powerless. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you rest, how you move, either feeds the fire or cools it. And cooling it is one of the strongest steps towards staying resilient beyond 80. After the age of 60, the body begins losing muscle mass every year, a slow erosion most people don't notice at first. But by the time we reach 80, this process speeds up dramatically. Doctors call it sarcopenia, and it is one of the most dangerous yet overlooked health challenges of aging. It doesn't begin with something dramatic. It starts with small hints: struggling to open a jar that used to twist off easily, rising from a chair more slowly than before, or avoiding stairs because they suddenly feel heavier on the legs. These may seem like minor inconveniences, but they signal that the body's silent protector, muscle, is disappearing. Take Frank, 84. For decades, he was cheerful and independent, living alone without fear. But one afternoon, he tripped on a rug and broke his hip. That single fall transformed his life. Weeks in bed left his muscles weaker than ever, forcing him onto a walker. What shocked him most wasn't just the accident, but the realization of how much strength he had quietly lost over the years. Muscle is not just for strength. It protects balance, cushions joints, regulates blood sugar, and even boosts brain health by supporting circulation. When muscle fades, the risks multiply: falls, fractures, loss of mobility, and even faster cognitive decline. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that sarcopenia doubles the risk of losing independence after 80. But here's the truth: muscle loss is not inevitable. It can be slowed and even reversed with simple, consistent habits. Walking regularly keeps muscles active. Using resistance bands or light weights just 2-3 times a week can rebuild strength. Getting enough protein through eggs, beans, lean meats, or fish provides the fuel muscles need. Stretching gently each day keeps the body mobile and reduces stiffness. Consider Akiko, an 87-year-old in Japan. She has practiced Radio Taiso, a daily 10-minute exercise routine broadcast on Japanese radio, since her childhood. Despite her age, she still walks to the market, cooks her own meals, and even tends a small garden. Her secret is not a gym membership. It's small, steady movements that preserved her strength year after year. Remember, muscle is your shield. It is what helps you rise from bed each morning, steady yourself on uneven ground, and carry groceries without fear. Beyond 80, that shield may be the very thing that lets you live not only longer, but better. As we age, sleep changes, but not always for the better. By the time we reach 80, many of us find ourselves waking more often during the night, dozing lightly, or struggling to fall back asleep. At first, these interruptions may seem harmless, just a part of getting older. But over time, poor sleep quietly chips away at both body and mind. Sleep is not just rest, it is repair. It is the time when the brain clears away toxins, the heart rate resets, and the immune system rebuilds itself. Without deep, restorative sleep, healing slows, memory weakens, and the body becomes more vulnerable to illness. Take Alice, 86. For years, she brushed off waking up 3 or 4 times a night as just old age. But she began to notice her memory slipping. She lost her energy and seemed to catch colds more often. Only after speaking with her doctor did she realize the truth. Her shallow sleep was weakening her brain and her immune defenses. When she started practicing good sleep habits, keeping a regular bedtime, turning off screens before bed, and getting morning sunlight, her clarity and stamina slowly returned. Doctors now know that poor sleep in seniors is linked to serious risks: higher chances of dementia, heart disease, falls, and even depression. A study from Harvard Medical School found that older adults who consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night have a 30% higher risk of cognitive decline. The good news: sleep can be improved at any age. Limiting caffeine and alcohol, creating a cool, dark bedroom, and practicing light movement during the day all support deeper rest. Gentle breathing exercises or evening stretches can also calm the nervous system, making it easier to drift into sleep. Consider Hans, 83, from Germany. For years, he relied on afternoon naps and late-night television, which left him groggy the next morning. After a sleep specialist suggested walking outdoors in the morning sun and avoiding naps longer than 20 minutes, he found his nights became deeper and more restorative. Within weeks, his mood lifted and his balance improved. After 80, good sleep is just as vital as good food or safe movement. It affects how clearly you think, how steady you walk, how strong your immune system stays, and how much joy you feel in the life you've built. It is not about sleeping longer, it is about sleeping better. And protecting sleep is one of the smartest choices you can make for lasting independence. There is a danger that quietly threatens more seniors over 80 than many realize. It is not a virus, nor a visible illness. It is loneliness and the loss of daily purpose. Loneliness does more than weigh on the heart. Modern research has shown it can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. In fact, the U.S. National Institute on Aging confirms that prolonged isolation raises the risk of dementia, heart disease, and even early death. When someone feels invisible, forgotten, or unneeded, the body responds with stress hormones that weaken the immune system and shorten life expectancy. Think of Bill, 88. His wife passed away 5 years ago, and his adult children live far away. Each day he wakes, makes his meals, and keeps his home tidy. Yet he admits some days pass without speaking to a single person. What he misses most is not the noise of a busy house. It is the feeling of being needed, of knowing his presence still matters. The human spirit is wired for connection. And after 80, when careers are behind us and physical limitations grow, what many people lose isn't just social contact, it is identity. Without a reason to rise in the morning, life can shrink into silence. That is when depression and decline often begin. But purpose does not have to be grand. It can be as simple as tending a plant, writing letters to loved ones, making a daily phone call, feeding the birds outside, or checking in on a neighbor. Even the smallest acts provide rhythm, meaning, and joy. Psychologists emphasize that feeling needed is one of the most powerful protective factors for longevity. Take Maria, 85, from Canada. After her husband died, she felt her days had lost meaning. Then she began volunteering one afternoon a week at her local church, calling parishioners who lived alone. She said it transformed her life. Suddenly, she was not just passing the days. She was part of something bigger, giving and receiving love. Her energy and mood returned, and her doctor even noted improvements in her blood pressure. Solitude and peace can be healing, but loneliness, the sense of being forgotten, drains the will to live. The question for every senior becomes this: what gives me purpose right now? The answer, no matter how small, is worth protecting like medicine, because in many ways, it is. If you have stayed with me this far, pause for a moment and reflect. Living beyond 80 is not only a gift, it is a responsibility to ourselves. Many people never make it this far, and those who do often face challenges they never expected. Silent inflammation, muscle loss, poor sleep, and loneliness are not just inconveniences. They are forces that can slowly take away independence and joy. But here is the truth. Knowledge is power. These challenges are not destiny. They are signals, reminders that our choices still matter, no matter our age. Science has shown that even small, steady changes at 80 or 90 can improve health. A 10-minute walk each day lowers blood pressure. A phone call to a friend lifts mood and strengthens the immune system. Going to bed at the same time each night helps the brain clear toxins linked to memory decline. Psychologists often say, aging is not about loss, it is about focus. At this stage of life, We no longer need to chase everything. We simply need to protect what truly matters: health, connection, and dignity. Dr. Carl Pillemer, a gerontologist at Cornell University, once interviewed thousands of older adults. Their shared advice was simple: choose habits that preserve independence, nurture relationships, and give you reasons to wake up with gratitude. So, I ask you, what stood out most in these lessons? Was it the hidden threat of inflammation, the quiet loss of strength, the importance of sleep, or the need for purpose? Whatever your answer, let it be more than information. Let it be action. You have earned the right to live these years with wisdom, strength, and grace. Do not let fear guide you. Let clarity guide you. Let courage guide you. And most importantly, let love, both for yourself and those around you, be the compass for your days. This is not about trying to live forever. It is about living fully, right here, right now, with the life and choices still in your hands. Before we end, I want to remind you of something important. Aging is not a lonely journey. Every step you take to protect your health, your independence, and your sense of purpose inspires someone else. Your children, your grandchildren, your friends, or even a stranger who hears your story. So, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these lessons spoke to you most? Was it the reminder to guard your privacy, the comfort of your home, the value of self-care, or the need to protect against loneliness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story may be exactly what another senior needs to hear today. And if this message has given you clarity or encouragement, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on the bell notification so you won't miss future insights. When you do that, you're not just helping this channel, you're helping build a community of wisdom, strength, and dignity for seniors around the world. Lastly, if you know someone, a parent, a neighbor, or a dear friend, who might need this encouragement, please share this video with them. Together, we can remind each other that aging is not about giving up. It is about choosing to live each day with meaning, courage, and love. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself, and remember, your life and wisdom are treasures the world still needs.